We got a kind of a packed show this
gonna
week.
be up.
I mean, something happened. We had technical difficulties last week.
Well, yeah, we did. No, I had technical difficulties last week. This computer that I have screwed me over last week big time, and I had to take it and get it fixed. And there's parts of it gone, parts of my information's gone off of it, and I had to redo it. So it just locked up. I mean, people said they could still hear me talking, but it won't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I could hear stuff going on in the background when I was trying to.
Oh, then everybody heard me cussing. Then I'm sure because I was asking.
All right, let's thank our marketing partners here. We got to thank Safety Clean, Performance Plus Motor Oil, Langley Speedway, Chuck Hall, Bill Mullis. Really can't thank those guys enough for allowing us to do the show here. Bondrich Brothers Distillery, Mayhem Management for coming on board this year and helping us out. She really does a good job with some of the graphics and stuff she helps out with. Everybody knows it's not you, Jack.
Well, I know that. I know they know it's not me.
Tanya McAllister. Oh, you got an updated thing there, Jack?
Yeah.
MPM Marketing, if you need some help, also with Mayhem Management, either one, help with some social media stuff, reach out to those guys. Black Acid Racing Apparel, if you need 1 shirt or 15 shirts, 5 shirts. Let's see. Gen X Racing.
Well, we got an announcement coming up.
Okay.
Them,
well, hold on that, Jack.
Yeah, hold on to that one right now. They got an announcement.
Slinger Speed, they got 1 foot in the door. We'll see how Tim turns out. VA 811. Factory Canopies and Fluid Logic, man, really, shout out to those guys. They've really helped us out and been a great supporter of the show for several years, actually. And that Fluid Logic thing, these guys that run these hot races really should look into that or think about it. Eventually, we'll get Todd. Yeah, I was saying Todd on and talk about it a little bit. Hopefully our pizza will come tonight. Papa John's Pizza, they usually provide dinner for us. Really can't thank those guys.
Well, they tried to provide it for us yesterday.
Yeah. They were real fast. They were so fast. They was here yesterday. Apparently, they called Jack yesterday. They were like, "Hey, where do we need to bring the pizza to?" Like, it's supposed to be tomorrow. And Garamoa Amaya, GAC, Great American Company. I thank those guys for supporting us the last few years. What's up, Eddie Clark? Taylor Parker. I'm just here to see Erin. And she's much better looking than we are, Erin. Or Taylor. Let's see. She'll be here in just a minute. So really got to thank those guys and put her little logo down there. Always thinking about Dave, DM Strong. Always thinking about Dave. Dave usually watches the show, so I really want to. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Hope things are well. Oh, you love us too, Taylor. We appreciate that.
Hello, George.
Erin, and then
thanks for tuning in tonight. Andrew Fuller, Full Court Fuller.
Full
That's
court.
That's his nickname.
That's his new nickname.
Yeah, Full Court Fuller. I don't know where that come from, but anyway. Eddie Clark. I was thinking you were bringing barbecue tonight, so I wasn't going to push the pizza thing. But anyway,
come on in, Buck.
Oh, and now we have Buck Roost and showed up on the job. Oh Lord, he done brought
the boss.
A cheering section with him.
What's up, buddy?
Good to see you, my friend.
Speaking of Slinger Speed.
There you go. What's that? Swinging both ways.
How you doing, man?
Doing well. Doing well.
So,
do we have any news tonight there?
Do I have any news?
Not Jack.
Oh, okay.
oh yeah, we got a little bit of news. Right now they got the Phoenyx test going on at Phoenyx Raceway. Jimmy Johnson's out there with his new crew chief, Todd Gordon.
That was a shocker.
I did not expect to see that happen.
That's cool.
But that's a big deal.
That wasn't Todd, the crew chief, the reigning championship when Logano's crew chief this past year?
No. This past year he wasn't. He didn't do anything.
He wasn't crew chief.
Yeah, he was doing TV stuff. So now he's going back to be the crew chief.
Limited schedule, so that fits exactly what he wanted.
Right. Yeah.
Tyler Reddick has been signed to drive for Sam Hunt for this coming year for some select races. That's a pretty big deal for them. And of course, they got a little bit of that Joe Gibbs backing behind them too.
Yeah, and Sam's done a really good job for a small program. I mean, really,
he's turned it into a big program now. It's pretty cool to see a guy that started here local level, and the shop used to be based right out off Jeff Davis Highway in Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to actually go out and help leather the cars for him and everything. And so Sam and I have had a relationship for a long time, and it's awesome to see what they've actually been able to build. And he told me it'd be a lot of building blocks to get to a certain point, but his dream was to at least have a 2-car team, and now he's there. So, and really it's Toyota backing, but having the Joe Gibbs Racing knowledge behind it's definitely helped.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, but it's just cool to see a local guy.
Yeah.
And he's making it. He's doing, I'm sure he probably doesn't think he's doing well.
And great drivers. I love Kaz. It's great to see him finally get a solid ride underneath him so he can show what he can do.
Yeah, he's another great kid that we've had on
several
times. Our first time we had him on the show, he was at driver's ed class, and he had to get out of class and call us and do the show, and then go back in the driver's like, did you tell them you've won late model races? You don't need that class.
Down at the NASCAR Hall of Fame this past weekend, Kirk Shelmerdine, Herschel McGriff, and Matt Kenseth got into the Hall of Fame as 3 drivers, or not drivers. Well, Shelmerdine was a driver. So
3 inductees.
3 inductees. That's the right word. Yeah. That's why you make the big bucks announcing.
No. Believe me, I call people by the wrong name. Ain't that right, Hunter Walker? But yeah, that's awesome too. Because man, Herschel McGriff, what a hero!
No, right? What about his statement? I hope these guys stay healthy, so when I'm 100, I'll have a ride.
Yeah, because he said, what did he say? Bill McAnally and Richard Childress said they would give him a ride when he gets to be 100.
Yeah,
I hope they stay healthy.
He's got a thank you list that's very short because most of them are already deceased.
He was here at the thing the time you came up, right?
Combine.
For the combine, because his granddaughter was in the combine for one time, and Jack talked to him, and then we had both of them on one time. I didn't know he had such a personality.
He was one of those names that I always gravitated towards. My stepfather built limited sportsman cars that raced here, Southside, South Boston. His driver's name was Richard Berkeley, but he ran 04. Which was Herschel's number.
Right.
So I always was a big fan of Del McCowart, the 0 car, and then the 04 of Herschel McGriff, which nobody really knew their names. And now Herschel's like Limelight City.
Yeah, that's right.
And everybody's talking about him, but I've always cheered on Herschel in everything that he's ever done.
He's a long-time hero from out on the West Coast, so that's a really big deal. And Mike Helton got the Landmark Award induction into the Hall of Fame. I thought that was pretty neat that he was nominated on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Well deserved.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's the first person that's taken over NASCAR besides France.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you got to talk about the other local that's moved up in position, Elton Sawyer.
Sawyer got a new job and moved up. That's
competition director, I think. So.
Yeah, he moved vice president.
That's awesome.
And
found a model kit I did of him cleaning out my attic the other day.
Did you really?
Of the Gwaltney 27 car with his name on the roof of it and everything. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We probably have to ask him to come back on. We had him on a couple of years ago. And, of course, NASCAR said we can only have 15 minutes. I think we ended up going for like 30 minutes. He kept right on going. He loved talking about Langley and being here and coming from here. So that was pretty neat. What's up, Andy Newsom and Carson?
All right, out at Irwindale, they had the All-Star Showdown this past weekend. The Pro Late Model race was won by Lenny White. The Super Late Model race was won by Jacob Gady. And the Modifieds was won by Travis Thurkettle. And I think that's like his 4th win in the Modifieds out there in that big race. That's a big deal. All right, well, as soon as we get Erin up here, we got some big announcements getting ready to come into play. Get her up here, get her to let us know what's going on with her. But as far as we're concerned, Scott, we have an announcement to make, so you can go ahead and get your thing ready.
Oh, okay.
The fanfare.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead. We'll put it up there. All right, starting Now our new title sponsor.
Title sponsor?
Title
Wait a
sponsor.
minute, hold on. I need to renegotiate my contract.
Okay, well, I'll give you 5 of the 10.
To double my salary? 0 to 0. I mean, I can't get that much better.
So anyway, we got Gen X Motorsports coming on from Virginia Beach. They are a driver development and race rental. They got race rentals, driver development. I forget all who was involved with it. I think they're going to Florida this for the Speed Weeks this coming year. Going to have Nick Lights in the car some.
Nice.
Oh wow!
So that's gonna be a pretty big deal.
Wheelman.
We're supposed to have Wayne and them here
I was gonna
tonight.
say Wayne can't be real smart.
But what?
Wow.
I mean, to sponsor us. I mean,
You know, that's better than 2 sponsors that don't do a dang thing for us. What we got out there?
we talking about Safety Clean and Performance Plus. They
Don't do a thing for me. It's not. They haven't done a thing for this show. I even had to go steal stuff from Scott just to say we had it. But
But
anyway,
they've been good to me, so that's all that matters.
so anyway, we're going to have Gen X Motorsports with us this year as our title sponsor. So we're going to have them on in a few weeks. They're busy right now getting ready for the Florida Speed Weeks and getting stuff going on for that. So we're going to have them on. I think they do some races up at Dominion.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
race there. I think they're every week up there.
Well, they're racers. They're the guys that really cut all their teeth hardcore building race cars, getting everything put together. So they put together some great equipment. Had a great showing at Martinsville Speedway. Makes a highlight reel, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I got that right.
I was gonna say, did we ever
But,
get an answer why Wayne didn't help him out over there? I mean,
No, well, it was probably half a football field just to get over there.
Wayne said he wasn't close enough.
Yeah. But I tell you, they put together a whale of a developmental team themselves, and they've put together a couple of good races and good racers in the right places right now. And having Nick jump in the car going down south, that's going to be definitely a feather in their cap by the time they come back.
It's going to be huge for them, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for them. I think they're still going to be involved with Riley Music some.
Yeah.
I think some of that.
I mean, even despite Hippie helping them.
Well, I ain't gonna get into the. I'm not getting into. See, we're not getting into people who are helping us. We're not gonna talk trash about it. Now, see, we can talk about Safety Clean and the other ones, but they ain't helping us. But anyway, yeah. So we're excited to have them on board with us this year. And
I hope they have better parts than Harvey had them crappy parts. Pappy's crappy parts.
I mean,
Crappy ass parts.
I want to say, after you get it, you've seen me stick the microphone in your face after after 2 minutes after getting out. Imagine the thing being on fire and encapsulating you in flames and everything. And somebody's like, "What do you think about your car?"
Right.
Yeah, that's the first thing is coming out your mouth. Especially when you run it up to Kevin Harvick, you better expect something to fly.
Right. It's funny, and this is one of the reasons why I like Kevin. I seen an interview where he was on Dropping Dimes with Corey LaJoy, and Kevin is a great marketer, and that's why he has a marketing company and does a lot with a lot of sponsors. He said a lot of times, we weren't running well. A lot of the stuff I did was for show. I had to stay relevant because he was complimenting. He's like, I remember that time where you got in a wreck with Biffle, and then when he came in the pitch, he's like, I spider monkeyed off the hood and over there into his face. He said, but a lot of that stuff was for show. It kept me relevant. Yeah, we weren't running well or we wrecked, and I had to stay relevant. A lot of it was show.
Yeah.
And those are the things sometimes you got to do.
Exactly. And Josh, the guy goes by Mother Function on a bunch of those social media handles. His main manager, the guy in charge of Kevin Harvick's management.
Oh yeah,
team, Josh is just he's top notch, dude. He's a cool guy. But the people they've got underneath them now, they've built everything from MMA fighters and different country levels of country singers. They're all under that management. So it's not just a cap that goes over top of NASCAR, right? Racers and local drivers. It goes across the gamut of all entertainment. So he's really built himself an empire. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to be buddies with Josh. I'm not as much of a buddy with Kevin, but I'm buddies with Josh.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Lord, the stories.
Oh yes.
So now that you're a big time singer and play the band and all this other stuff. I mean,
I attempt to play in bands. Yes.
well, obviously
Yeah.
you do pretty good at it. I mean, I haven't been able to make it out to see one of your shows. I know you did one in Hopewell. I was almost going to, but never did make it
I
out
had
there.
to go out to Vegas last year.
Yeah. Mickey James, the 6-time WWE champ, and now 5-time Impact Wrestling champ. She is now the champ of Impact Wrestling again. So 11-time women's champion now in wrestling. She does the country rock thing, and I've been her guitar player for better than a decade right now. So it's that's been pretty cool and pretty fun. And like you said, I got a call. They just want me to come out because I'm her band leader, and they had a band that was going to back us to play in Vegas, and that was fun. It was quick 3-day jaunt out there.
They say 3 days in Vegas is enough. They said
it was enough for me just because of the sensory overload in the sinus area.
Oh yeah. No, it definitely is.
But it might be for most people. But when me and the wife, we both went, okay, we checked that box, we're good. But the venue was amazing. The Brooklyn Bowl out there, they treated us like gold. And,
where's that?
Showing over great. Right at the Flamingo, that's right on the corner, down that little alleyway that's there. Right off the main strip is the Brooklyn Bowl, and it's a beautiful place, and it's a bowling alley that has a huge concert venue that's built into it. So it was pretty neat, pretty fun. Got to play with Cody Blackbird, who's won countless Native American Music Awards as well, and Mickey's also won 3 awards with that series as well. So
okay.
We got to combine for that show, and it was really fun.
Well, I mean, you just got it going on, man. You know.
No, I do what I can get away with, and what I try to work on.
Think about it, man. He letters cars, comes out here, and he's a celebrity out here. Now he's a celebrity.
No, the celebrities are on the racetrack. That's
no, but you do a great job with what you do out here. I mean,
I don't know how you keep. Even when I come up here, me and Jax come up here and help Brian out.
Yeah.
I don't know how in the hell y'all keep up with it. I mean, both of you got little notebooks, and I'm like, oh yeah, and y'all spit it out. I'm like, oh yeah, that's who it is. I can't keep. I don't know how y'all keep up with it.
Well, the best help we have now is called Race Monitor.
It
actually gives you names and positions. So, but that's the same thing. MRN has a big computer screen in front of them that shows how many laps down they are, what their lap times are, who's moved up, who's moved down. It's all right there for them while they watch the race as well. So sort of Race Monitors, our version of that at the local tracks. And Brian and I, we get the lucky job of just saying what's going on. The drivers and the teams that have worked endlessly during the week to get ready, and then tirelessly on a 104-degree day down in the middle of the asphalt and concrete down here, they're the heroes. They're the ones who really, they're the guys, they're our Kevin Harvicks, they're our Jeff Gordons, Richard Petty's, David Pearson's, whatever you want to call it. And those drivers I mentioned, they've run around this racetrack. They've been here most of the time. You can look back when Chase Elliott was here at the open tests and stuff like that. So all these drivers, you never know when one's going to get a break. I've been lucky enough to be around Denny Hamlin for 20 plus years now. And watching him go from the kid that I thought was funny, somebody put a kid in a fire suit in the outside pits. No, it was Denny, and they bought him a big enough fire suit he could grow into it. And then he walks out here and wins, the championship and Rookie of the Year in '97. So all that compiled, you gotta understand that we're just lucky to be in the positions that Brian White and I are, and the other ladies and gentlemen who get down on pit road and do the calls. And Caitlin Vincey, I mean, look at what she's done with her career from right here on this pit road. It just depends on the right placement a lot of times.
But the thing about it here in Langley, we are fortunate to have, I'm going to say it, 2 of the best, you and Brian. I've sat up here with Brian, and like Scott said, I've sat up here with Brian, how he can just rattle stuff off, and the 2 of you all, the way you play off each other is amazing. It's really amazing.
Well, we both cut our teeth at dirt tracks. I started at age 14 at Saluda, so last year marked exactly 40 years that I've been trying to do that. So and then he got his teeth cut at Dixieland and also at Virginia Motor Speedway. So it's wild that we both came from the dirt background and come to asphalt for racing, which this has been my passion my entire life. It's always been asphalt racing. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she, was line score for David Pearson and Lenny Pond. My uncle's Ray Hendrick Jr. So I grew up around as much of the royalty as I could of racing and got lucky. And a lot of people ask, how come you're not working in the Cup Series? Why aren't you doing this? And it never approached me. And I like living my life the way I do as much as I can. And that being surrounded by the people who I am lucky enough to be around. So.
Well, I'm enjoying it, especially when I'm up here and listening to y'all, especially when I'm in there with Brian. Y'all two just play off each other so perfect, and it's just it's amazing to me. He'll stop.
The chemistry is really good.
Yeah, he'll stop at one point, and you hear quick right.
I know.
And then
CMRN tosses, buddy.
And I was thinking,
it's like, how do you know?
It's almost like him and Buck are married. So anyway, all right. Yes, Lord Jesus. Let's get Erin in here. People are going crazy. When is Erin going?
There she is.
When's she coming?
Come on, Erin.
Better late than never.
I'm getting out of the way and getting you into the center.
No, you're staying in here.
No.
Moon Scott again?
Go.
Oh.
They want to look at her more than they don't want to look at me.
Sheesh. Hi, Buck.
Hey, girl.
All right, we've already made our Gen
Have you
X
shared the
announcement.
news?
Gen X
I was
announcement.
going to say, nice hat. You
So
didn't get one? I have one.
I guess I'm not on the.
you were here the night they came.
Yeah.
He was here.
I got
Maybe I'm too hard on Wade.
one. Oh, man.
Somebody's got to get it.
We brought a special visitor, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the new mascot for Mayhem.
oh,
That's
okay.
Spade.
Oh, yes. I've been keeping up with him on Facebook. It.
It's a girl. That
Okay.
pink collar.
Guess I blew that all to pieces. But anyway, all right, now we got Erin here. Everybody's waiting to see what Erin has got to say.
What have I been up to?
Let's see what you've been up to, what you
So-
got going on. So we're going to turn it over and we're going to let Erin make her announcements and stuff that she needs to do. So it's on you now.
No pressure. Thanks, guys. So it's no secret that Mayhem was really built around Maverick, and he wants to go racing. And as much as I've tried to deny it, it's happening. So that's not the announcement. I kind of like filling the void, and we all know that you can easily complain about our sport. I would rather try to fix it and help and make it better and make it lasting. And we have younger kids coming into our sport every single year. They're winning races, they're winning championships, they're contending. And the part that's missing there is introducing these young drivers to, unfortunately, the business side that makes racing go round. We all know that it costs money, and being able to market yourself and attract sponsors and having the right backing makes a difference. So with that, Mayhem Management is now branching off and bringing in a new program that will be Raising Mayhem, the development program. We will be taking on about 3 to 5 drivers this year. They can apply. I have some really cool people in different series and all across racing that will help me go through these applications and pick the 3 to 5 drivers that we're going to work with. Buck has agreed to do some interviewing classes and helping them give those good interviews that make people want to bring them on their show and talk to them and highlight their sponsors and just build that brand. And so we have that set up. You guys have a great, I doubt you even know about it.
He does.
The 3 to 5 applicants will get to come on the show and again, highlight their sponsors, their program, and market themselves. And I have Keely from the Cars Tour. She's willing to jump on and talk to them and let them know about the touring series and all of the incredible knowledge that she knows. So it's a really good process. I will coach them through social media how to do those race day stories and how to really highlight. I mean, look at Butterbean. He has a huge social media platform and Look at his fan base. Look at his sponsors. There's a reason for that. You look across, into all these other drivers. Matt Carter, he has a very solid social media campaign, and these things matter, and they attract new sponsors, and they make your program a lot better. So.
And the one guy that I think of when you start talking social media stuff, Mark Works.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he is top of the line
He is a
as far as some of that
sponsor's
stuff.
dream.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's involved in everything, and I don't care what he does. He puts something on about it,
Yeah, and it's a full-time job. I don't think people realize how much work it is.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just as important. It's probably more important than the win column. And I think it is important for these younger kids. If this is what they want to do, these are the things that we were talking about marketing a minute ago with Kevin Harvick. These are the things that you have to do. You got to stay relevant. Like Kevin said, when they weren't running well, he would act out and do his things. A lot of it was for show to get his name out and just keep beating. Those things are important.
Look, you can't control when you're going to win. We would love to, but you can't. And at the end of the day, you don't know how race day is going to go.
That's exactly
But
right.
your sponsors still want attention. They still want what they paid you for. And so you have to deliver. And sometimes you make 100 laps around the track, and sometimes you break on lap 1, or you don't even make a lap. And so social media gives you, look, that's why I didn't even look at it.
I was like,
With social
Made the
media,
highlight reel.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
But,
You're too old for the
yeah, right.
You've exceeded the age limit for the.
But what
program.
about what you act like? I mean, I act much lower.
No.
Age group. No, damn it.
Sorry. Denied.
That's what she's trying to teach them, how to not act like
You
you.
know what? You can come and be an example.
There you go. When he leaves
This is
nothing,
what not
whatever
to
he
do.
said, just ignore that. Do the opposite.
Exactly.
Exactly. But going back to the sponsors part of it, sponsors need to get a return on investment. And I think some people lose that because it used to be, in the 90s, if you had a sponsor, they just were glad to be on a car. And they got tons of attention. It's not that way anymore. Social media is big, and it's word of mouth, and you got to plug your sponsors. And I just go back to Miles, and this is a plug. Miles will seem to scutter. But
Nice.
our first couple of years, in being fortunate enough for me and at a racetrack being the only gutter company, we brought in $134,000 of business. All right. They are gladly to keep investing again when you're bringing in that kind of numbers. You can't just take somebody's money and put it on a car and that's all you do. Sometimes kids you'll hear from a kid all the time, and then once you hand them a check, you don't hear from them anymore until it's next year. It's a relationship that you have to build with a sponsor. And Miles didn't start out with a big check in the beginning. It was $1,000 or $500, and
They sure didn't get much return on there. So.
Not in the beginning.
Well, and also the big thing, you never know who's sitting in these stands on Saturday night.
No.
Or we're blessed, you don't know who's watching on Flow Racing. You don't know. So you can't, you're not racing, but you're in your driving suit, you're in your team shirt, and you are acting a fool and being crazy. But you just drove a really good race. You just won, but you're sitting next to a businessman who thought about sponsoring you, but you were just acting crazy.
Yeah.
It's those things you've got to think about. And again, you've got to build those relationships, and on and off the track, it matters. And what you engage on in social media matters. It's a brand.
Yeah. A great example is that who drives the Mosquito Joe's car?
Bill Akers.
Bill, yep.
Bill has a great example of that. If you listen to the story, how he got that sponsor was exactly like that. He just happened to run into him in the pits, and the guy, he was sponsoring somebody else or getting ready to. There was some kind of
Robert.
Yeah, some kind of deal there. And because the way Bill handled himself and was doing some stuff in the stands, that was the difference in who you went to sponsor.
Now we got Buck. She said you're going to be doing some interview test them, teaching them how to do interviews. What are some of the things that you're going to try to emphasize to them?
well, the first thing that you try to look into is lose the ums and ands. We were running good, and that is your brain trying to put together a sentence. So instead of leaving
That's why
that
I
in
say
there,
that all the time.
you stop and you just put it out. We were working on the car as diligently as we could during the day. We got it better during practice. qualifying, we were a little bit off, but it looks like it paid off tonight. Got a second, third place finish or a win. It depends on what the driver says. And then the next thing out of your mouth after the driver, and after you get that question, which is usually, oh, welcome back to Victory Lane or welcome to Victory Lane. How was it tonight? Is your usual first question. And then you try to make sure the next thing out of your head is your partners and at least thank your team. And if you've had any issues with anybody during the race, I hope so-and-so finished okay. Sorry, we got together. Something like that. Always think in the back of your mind and go backwards in the race. Replay the race as fast as you can while you're taking that checkered flag around there and try to think about that stuff. And I've seen a couple of guys, they're smart enough. They, and might not look at the camera when they're doing it because they might have too many sponsors because this racing takes a ton of money.
Right.
And I mean, you're thinking $700+ a set of late model tires now. So that's just setting a little bit of a level for you. So they'll put a piece of duct tape down right on top of the driver's side door that has the sponsors listed down it.
That's smart.
So they literally just look down and blah, 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 pop out their partners.
Mm.
And then, and I'd like to thank my team for a fast running forward tonight. Just that quick of something will make the sponsor, well, I like to call them partners because that's what everybody
Correct,
does in
yes.
the business now.
Mhm.
The partners on your team are what enabled you to be here tonight. Your diligent hard work capitalized off the partnership. Now you've got to go and perform as a driver to try to win for your team and your partners. And that's what needs to be put in everybody's head when they get down there, because a lot of times they just get thrown in a race car. And what'd you think? Was it loose? Was it tight? I don't know.
Days of thunder all over again.
But this day and time, a lot of these young people getting behind these race cars.
Yes.
They get in there. They don't know what the car's doing. They don't have any clue. And I'm going to come out and just say it, because mom and daddy have money and can put that money out there. They can drive a race car. And I just don't see, I think they need to have more, they need more knowledge of what's going on. And I think that'd be where you could come in and really help them be able to figure out what to say and what to do.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories from right here at Langley is Jaden Reyna. Jaden Reyna started racing bandos right here at Langley Speedway. He is contracted under Hendrick Motorsports driving late model stock cars now. I sat on the blue and white walls that they use for the carts with Jaden Reyna after a 7th place finish one night, and he was sitting there saying he didn't want to race no more. I said, why is that? And he goes, I just don't feel like I can win. I said, well, when you started, where were you finishing? He said, 10th, 11th. I said, and you finished 7th tonight. I said, you know what comes next? He goes, what? I said, 5th. I said, then 3rd, then 2nd, then 1st. Don't give up. If it ain't fun, don't do it. Are you having fun? He goes, yeah, have fun. And I said, keep going. If it isn't fun anymore, talk to your mom and dad. Don't push it to where you're going to end up getting hurt because you're not having fun anymore.
And he is a great example
Yeah.
of things, because he's got the Hendrick tie,
Yes.
and now he's with Rev.
Yeah.
He's got the Rev tie with him now. And
Wasn't he with Casey? Or
he was with Crest Van Dyke.
Right, right,
and Crest
last
Van
year.
Dyke was doing his car for him. So, anyway. So that's a pretty good deal you got going on
I
here.
got one question that I'm curious of y'all's opinion, and this is serious. A serious question anyway. It might be kind of funny, but so everybody wants to be cookie cutter. Where do you draw a line when kids' personalities come out? I mean, obviously there's a line, but there is this business is a show, and I would do those things in arena racing. I mean, I remember I got into it with somebody, and I went out on a racetrack and kicked his door because I wanted people to talk about it and do this thing. So there is a line of not going out there and killing the points leader either.
Yeah,
You
I
did
wouldn't
that.
stand behind that.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the content I want to create.
Mhm.
I think there's like you said, a fine line, but you have to they're still kids.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, they're very persuasive to other kids. So they're still a role model, and balancing that at their age is a heavy burden and responsibility. And that's where you've got to remember they're still kids and try to make it as fun as possible for them. I've had the pleasure of working with some young drivers, and I've brought on the first young driver this year already. And part of that is just helping them express themselves and still be themselves. You don't want to make them a mold. You want
Right.
them to develop because they're still learning, they're still maturing.
Mhm.
So I don't want to make them something that they're not. I just want to be that support for them to help them understand and not have to learn the hard lessons and struggle and take the long route. I want to kind of bridge it. Look, there's development rides that teams do all the time. They get a driver that can wheel a car. They just needs the right equipment and needs seat time. And so he gets a development ride and he develops and goes off. There's not a development ride to learn the business side and learn all of that. So that's what it is. I just want to bridge that gap and cause mayhem.
Prime example, I'd probably say look at Brendan Queen. You brought him up earlier. Look at his development over the past few years since he got into late model stock car. If you remember his rookie year, him and Greg with that big crash up here.
It was a little rough the first year or two.
Because he, he's still green. He's still trying to figure out exactly when to push, where to push, and when to go. And then you jump all the way to South Carolina this year, and he's running with Lee Pulliam, and he's got Lloyd Garner on radio with him, and he's just watching these guys beat on each other up front. And he told me, he's like, I'm watching these guys, and I remember when I used to drive like that. Even though these guys are seasoned veterans, they're up there beating each other's door panels off with 20, 30 laps to go. It's not like it's 2 laps to go.
Right.
And so he's like, 100%. These cats are going to wreck, and it's going to be between me and the 8 car.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that. And that was the driver developing inside his head over these years. And that's what's made him a 3-time champ here, a champion at East Carolina Speedway. He's a 4-time late model champ on asphalt and a 1-time late model champ on dirt. In the last 6 years of racing, that's something to be said right there. And that is him realizing the driver he was and making things happen the correct way. Now, that brings up the other side. How much of a drive does that put behind Mark Wirtz, Greg Edwards, Danny Edwards, and all the other drivers that are in, Thomas Marks, who should have definitely had at least one win this past season.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. He had them covered that one night when the radiator hose popped off. Guys like that, you watch them down there, they're knowing that. And the Justin Carrolls who are trying to make their first truck series event and have been racing Arca and everything, he's calmed himself down massively as well and understood what it takes. So this is what Erin's going to bring to the table for all these young drivers. Instead of having to go through the school of hard knocks until they get into a legend car, get into a super street or a late model straight out of a legend, they're going to understand how to sort of carry themselves, but still have fun, still be a kid, still understand when you get in victory lane, you got to make sure that the reason you understand you're there is the money behind you. And you better make sure those partners are mentioned.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. Thinking of 2 young drivers. I got 2 young drivers standing by.
Awesome.
Phoenyx and Raven Kimball.
Wheels. They can get it done. I'll tell you what.
There they are, Phoenyx and Raven Kimball. I don't know what Scott's doing with the pictures. He's driving me crazy.
Well, that's not hard.
How are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Oh, that's
Now,
good.
which one's the funny one?
Straight up.
Oh,
Now I've done heard stories about Raven, so I'm going. I'm not going to tell everything I've heard.
Can you say that online or not?
No, I can say it, but I mean, I wasn't going to do it, But now, me and Phoenix go back a long ways because I've been following Phoenix for several years now, and well, not several years. You ain't so old. But anyway, I think it's really cool. Now you're going up to drive a Legends. How you feel about driving a Legends this year?
It's hard. I definitely don't have any muscles in my arms, so I gotta work on that.
Get the steering wheel closer to you.
It's pretty close to me, actually.
Yeah. Use your forearm on it when you're turning the corners.
Yeah.
Roll Mark Martin.
There you go. Lean the forearm on it. I know what you're talking about.
Now I'm going to ask the Raven. I mean, Raven doesn't have the. I don't know how much racing experience you do have, but do you have a lot of racing experience?
In the Legend, not so much. I did do go-karts from 8 to 14, so not necessarily circle track experience, but I think road courses would definitely be something I'd be better at. So just trying to get used to circle tracks.
Now, you're going to be racing against your sister this year. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and start something because that's what Scott and I do. We like to start things. Now, the two of you all are racing for the win in a Legends race. Phoenix, are you going to dump Raven for the win?
Yes.
No hesitation. I like it.
She didn't even think about
I
it.
like it.
All right, Raven, I've been heard all kinds of stories about you. I got a feeling you would dump her in a heartbeat.
No, I wouldn't do that to her.
She does something for me. Though.
I would dump someone for her for sure. I like supporting her. I'm more in it for fun rather than like trying to win. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, then I guess you just blew my whole story all to pieces right there.
Blow that plan up.
Look, you got to market this. You got to like, heck yeah, I want to stuff her in the wall.
But she's got a little bit of experience. She's won one or two races in her lifetime, so far. And, what are you looking at me like that for? I saw that face you made. So, I mean, you won what, one or two? So you've done pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So do you sit down and teach your sister anything? I mean, I know she's older than you. Do you teach her anything?
Oh, she doesn't really help me out. She stays in her own lane, and I just
she does
sit back.
herself. She learns herself. I learn myself. Well, Dylan helps us, but
yeah.
So I'm trying to get something started here, and there ain't nothing biting on this at all.
It ain't working too well, Jack.
So when you come up around your sister, and she, Phoenix is out front or you're out front, and you come around, do you wave at them when you pass them, or what?
no.
But it does make me laugh if I see her go by.
Makes you laugh.
Yeah.
When are you gonna get nasty and just say it ain't fun no more and dump her?
Oh, wow.
I did start behind her at Goodyear, and I didn't want to
I beat her.
She didn't beat me, but I didn't want to push her too much. But I was like, I'll try to let her know I'm there just for some giggles, but I'm not going to spin her out or anything.
You didn't know if she could handle it if you pushed on her too hard?
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Hurt her feelings.
You know what? We've got a marketing person here with us. And I think I'm not saying she's cringing, but she wants you all to be a little bit more demonstrative with each other. You know what I mean? You got to say you want to,
So are both of y'all running full time this year?
I wouldn't say full time.
I wouldn't say full time. We're going to plan on doing every race at Wake County for sure.
We're just learning this year. That's really it.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, but
maybe next year we'll bang heads a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
just learning this year.
Are you both going to go to the summer shootout?
Maybe like one race, but we're not planning to race the entire thing.
I have a job. She doesn't, so it's a little easier for her to do it every Monday and Tuesday. But for me, it's a little harder. I want to try to get out there and just see what it's about and try to do it a little bit, but we'll see.
So are you running the Bando too this year, or are you?
I'm done. They're for sale, I think.
Yeah, that's for sale. I saw it was for sale.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to get rid of something to drive something else. So I guess that's the way it works.
Yep.
But Phoenix, one of the coolest things I've done in racing was the day you won down at Goodyear, and they gave me the checker flag to go out and give to you on the racetrack. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was that was neat. And so I'm, but you got a great family. They support you guys a lot, and I think it's really cool. Even Raven, I understand she's the wild child, but anyway.
I'll cause a little more trouble than she will, for sure.
So is it true you are the wild child? I mean,
I would say so. I'm pretty out there.
She owns it.
That's exactly what I heard. So I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And I just heard that your merchandise is the best selling on Intensity Broadcasting. Your merchandise is the best seller.
I didn't know it was the best selling, but I did hear it was doing pretty good.
Right.
So I think
It's official. They didn't put it on here. It's the best seller.
Wow, that's good to hear.
and look, and Raven looks,
I think the alien design's pretty cool. So
and Phoenix looks like she's a little ticked off with that. So maybe she is going to bump you around a little bit.
No.
but mine's the best seller. Yours isn't.
It's official.
There you go.
I got more questions than you, so.
Well,
Who's the best driver?
Me.
You're the best driver.
That's it.
Yeah.
she learned from me on the go-kart track, so technically I
Her-
was better first.
her-
But
At go-karting, me at like,
there you go.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, now I'm going to ask the question. Which one does the parents like best?
Oh,
No, our brother.
Favorite girl is her.
No.
Favorite child is our little brother. But
Oh, okay.
At least it's known. Everybody knows.
All right. Well, that's
As you know,
that's basically how I heard it too, Raven. That's basically what I heard too. So
Do they claim that, or they say no? There's no favorite.
No, they claim that it's our brother. Well, my dad doesn't treat us like.
he doesn't treat anyone special.
Yeah.
But our mom, you could definitely tell Hawk's the favorite.
Oh.
so your mom plays favorites.
Yeah.
Mom said no. Hawk is not the favorite.
You can actually look at his birthday post on Facebook because it literally says that he's the favorite. So
Oh.
Oh man.
Well, she just put up here a minute ago that he's not.
well, she's lying.
Hunter said Jack's out here starting family feuds, family dinner fights.
Well, I'm trying to
We
start.
tried.
I'm trying to start it.
Brussels sprouts now.
So he doesn't race or anything. So so y'all can get even with him.
No, he dropped out of the kids league that we did from 8 to 14 at Rush Hour Karting. You did a little kids league, so we all went through it, and he kind of dropped out of it.
Yeah.
So he's the baby.
So y'all embarrassed him. It made
That's why he's the favorite.
Oh, so in other words, what you're saying is mom and dad kind of had to calm him down and console him because he couldn't beat his sisters.
Say that.
She says she loves all four of them the same.
No,
She might love us the same, but
she likes Hawk more.
he gets special treatment.
Look, he's in 7th grade. She does everything for him.
All right, I'm gonna ask a good question because see, this
Oh,
is
boy.
this is a question that a late model driver we had here at Langley Speedway we had going with him. Does his mama have to cut his steak up for him?
Yes. Well, she has to do it for her too.
No, I
Oh my
cut
God.
No, she has to cut her steak too.
I cut my own steak. Am I good at it? Absolutely not. But I try. I don't make mommy do it for me.
So okay, now I know both of you got boyfriends.
Mhm.
Which boyfriend does mom and dad like the best?
Mine.
She's quick, isn't she? She's like
She's
mine.
on it. Like,
All the answers to everything, all the time.
So you're so
First on
basically what's being
Buffet.
said is that Phoenix is the all round, everything she does is good.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
No.
definitely. Okay, so I'm the oldest, so it's a little different for me. But everybody else, they get cut some slack. So
Oh, okay.
Are you the oldest one of the siblings?
yes, I am.
Yeah, I know how to feel. I know how it is. They get
Yeah.
away with everything. You couldn't do any of that, right?
Yep, that's for sure.
Look, she knows it.
Feels
She's
my
smiling.
face.
I can tell that Phoenix knows that she can get Bibles more than you. I can just look at her face and tell because
She
she
ain't
knows
saying nothing.
she's just sitting there going, yeah. She got in trouble, but I can handle it.
I don't get in trouble. I don't get in trouble.
None of them get in
We
trouble.
don't ever get in trouble.
I got in trouble, but none of them get in trouble.
Oh, so you were back to being the troublemaker in the family.
I did cause trouble more as a kid, but if they cause trouble, it's okay.
We don't cause trouble though.
Not really anymore.
So when can we see the paint schemes for the cars?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, have you already got your cars fixed up and ready to go?
Yes.
Yours
I
is
do.
fine. Mine's not. So
She totaled her car, so
I didn't do it. Wasn't mine doing.
yeah,
There was no
she had
avoiding
nothing
it.
to do with it, but like
My brother wants to start rapping, I guess. The one that's after me, that's 18. He wants to start rapping, so I think they're gonna try to rap my legend car sometime.
what?
This week, yeah.
Look, Phoenix looks like she's
Oh,
concerned
she's
on this
jealous.
one.
He's doing
I didn't know that.
right?
So
Yep.
So he's not going to wrap your car, Phoenix.
my car is done.
Hers got professionally wrapped.
Okay.
Oh,
Now we
yeah.
got it. Now we got it.
There
Mom and Dad made sure her car got professionally wrapped.
Curse of being the oldest child.
You know, there is something about this oldest child thing and youngest child thing and racing, because I went through the same thing. I had a younger brother, and I was the older one, and I was just kind of left out to dry a lot of times.
Hey.
So Raven, I like Phoenix, but I might have to start pulling for you.
You can. I might not win any this year, but next year I might.
So we got a question here. Said, ask Phoenix, is Carson her racing hero?
Is Carson my what?
Racing hero.
I mean, we could say that. Yeah,
Brown?
we could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems
What's
to
how?
be a story there.
Yeah, there's
what's
got to be
the-
something here we need to talk about. What is it?
You said, huh?
I said there's got to be a story here, so we want to know what the deal is between you and Carson.
There's nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure, And I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all need to get rid of your boyfriends, because racing and boyfriends don't go together.
I mean, my races, so.
Hey, Phoenix, you're perfect. You don't have to worry about it. It's Raven that's got the problem. She.
Yep, I have all the problems.
Some people just perfect. I mean, look at her. She just laid back, taking it easy, and you look like you're just,
Paying attention.
you're paying attention to what's going on. And I know Phoenix don't pay attention very well.
You definitely don't pay as much attention.
Look at her. She's biting on her neck.
No, that's why I got better grades in school than she did. So
Because she had to learn everything. She taught you everything you needed to know.
I taught myself. Actually, my teacher.
Wait, when did you ask me to do your science homework? Last week?
She does my science homework though, but all my other classes.
You called this.
So,
Like, she's way smarter than her, but I'm gonna ask her to do my science.
yeah, I'm
homework.
smarter than her, but you need to do my science homework for me.
Next one is
Yeah.
her mom with what? And exclamation points and question mark.
Somebody just put I think it's your mom just put up there that they're really good friends. Are y'all really good friends?
Yeah, we're friends.
We're friends?
We're friends.
I mean, you
I
can
didn't
say
talk
that.
to Carson.
We don't. I feel like we don't talk enough to be really good
No.
friends.
Well, it worked for them too. See, a lot of people ask me if Scott and I are good friends, and we're really not. So when we go at each other, we're really serious about it.
You can feel that. Sitting in the middle, you can feel that.
Right.
Anyway, well, I'm glad I got you two on the show tonight. It was well worth the money I spent to get you here.
Keep the change.
Keep the change.
So all right, now we're racing full time at Wade, and Mom and Dad are gonna let you go to Goodyear and race some this year too, Phoenix,
Yes.
because Raven has a job and she can't go every week.
That's for sure. I gotta make money.
What are you gonna do when you? Uh-oh, somebody just walked in the room, I think.
Dad.
Oh,
He's
Oh,
over there like,
he's trying to straighten y'all out, right?
He's watching in the kitchen. You could hear him laughing at us. At least we're entertaining for him.
Well, I'm sorry you had to grow up with Phoenix and all them, but as your kids, their kid siblings. I mean,
I know, and the two youngest are the favorites.
and the two boys. I mean, it sounds like they're the one. They're the they're the prize of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to both of y'all, and a big congratulations to you, Phoenix. The way you finished off the season down there was a great run. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, somebody here likes you, Phoenix. No, I like
Don't
you
tie
too.
me in with your bad shenanigans.
I like you too, Phoenix. You've always been pretty special to me, so I'll have to say that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
But I'm really beginning to like Raven a whole lot more. So first time we beat you on the racetrack, we're gonna have you back on the show again.
Yeah.
Front page.
Oh, that was a smart aleck look you just gave her. Like that ain't gonna happen.
She beats me. I mean, I can't really do nothing.
And if she beats me, it's not like I'm gonna punch her in the face.
Yeah.
So
Doggone it! I was hoping that would happen.
no,
As long as you're on the track.
she's a nicer older sister than that.
I want to see y'all get together on the racetrack and see what happens when y'all get to talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be.
Once I can catch up a little bit and get a little more experience, I think then it'll be really exciting.
Okay. All right, Phoenix, Raven, thank you for being with us tonight. Tell your mom and dad I said hi. I really miss seeing you all up here at Langley. I mean, it's been a while.
What? We need to shout out some sponsors.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that. I was so in
It's okay. I'm trying to get her to do it. But she's-
all right. I'm gonna go ahead and toss a coin and see who's gonna go first with their sponsors.
Go
All
ahead.
right, Raven, you win.
Okay. Can you read it? Do you need help?
No, I got it. I win.
So y'all have the same sponsors?
Do we have the same sponsor?
No, she definitely has a
Okay.
lot more than I do.
Well, then I guess these ones are mine. North Carolina.
No, NC Illuminations, Rush Hour Karting, Barnes
Ah.
Auto Detailing. Go ahead, keep going.
Kryptonite and Easy, Black Acid, The Intimidator Tribute Card, DSM, Twisted Scissors, Split Key Media, and the track and the fans.
And Bennett. Did you say
I
Bennett?
said Kryptonite and Easy.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad you have to keep her in line. You got anything different you want to say, Raven?
I'm just here to have fun, here to watch.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm telling you, this has been a fun interview. I got to give it that. It's been fun all the way around. So I can't wait to get y'all back up here again after some racing to see how things go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if Phoenix is still smiling. All right. We'll talk to you again real soon. Tell mom and dad I said hi, and we'll see you again soon, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Let's talk about old local there. We got Eddie Pardue.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man? I think did you retire out of the? Or are you just working in the? I don't think he's traveling the racetrack anymore. I think we're just working in the shop.
I haven't seen him at the racetrack the last
Yeah, I
few
think,
times I've been. So
quit traveling because I mean after so many years. I mean Eddie's been doing this for. I don't want to speak on his age, 30 years.
So who are some of the drivers that, I mean, not that you're looking at, I'm talking about the ones that you've already gotten.
Who's coming back? So who can I announce?
You told me when you came down.
I don't know. He never confirmed.
You know, it's funny how Erin, when she first came, she didn't want to come on be in front of the camera. Now she's pretty
Well, that's
relaxed.
because
now.
you left the show and Jack was stranded and
Well,
somebody had to come help him.
I had to, sometimes you got to do that when you're
I would-
negotiating your contract.
Oh, here we
I
go.
would have brought Buck down here, but it's a long ways for Buck to come down here all the time to do it.
So I was second best.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what it sounded like to me, Erin.
I said I would have, I would try to do that, but then it was a
You're
whole
not
lot.
getting out of this.
Will you shut up a minute? Just hold on a minute. It was a whole lot easier to have Erin here every week because she was right here,
I mean, she is better looking than him.
Well, I agree, but I'm not going to get into this conversation right now.
So back to those Mayhem drivers.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Who do I have? One of the young drivers I have is Miley Smith. So I'm gonna be working with her this year, helping her with social media. Who else? Oh, Kyle Mester. He.
So, so the one you and I talked about, we ain't got nothing on that yet. So
I mean, I have confirmation and I know it's happening, but I don't know that it's been put out there for everyone.
oh, so we
And
can't
that's
say it.
Not my story to tell.
Okay.
So Eddie says he's working the war room on race days, just not traveling. So we had to get Eddie on and actually talk about what that's like, because that's become a popular thing where there's a war room at the race team,
Mhm.
and they're essentially working from the race shop.
In the feed,
Yeah,
computer
and
feeds.
how that all ties together and how real time is it? I mean,
really
things
cool.
are getting pretty fast now. But.
That's what you've been doing, racing, the kind of racing you've been doing too, right? From the war room, because you ain't been here.
Yeah, well, I got some metal in my foot that says otherwise, Jack.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. The metal in your foot didn't come from a race car.
No, but
Okay.
it stopped me from
Okay.
getting in the race.
All right, that stopped you from racing, but that didn't come from a race car. Let's don't make everybody feel bad for you right here.
Why not?
This year?
Huh?
Are you racing this year?
Not sure.
Are you trying to race this year?
We'll see.
You know, to attempt
The
to make
passion
some
is there.
laps?
Got to make sure everything else works right for him. That's one of the coolest things the other day on Twitter. Chris Rice put up a picture of him in Victory Lane with Elliott Sadler.
I saw that.
And he
yeah.
said, these were the days. I said, that's when passion outweighed a paycheck, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fact. I mean, that's a
And
fact.
he private messaged me, I like what you put there. I said, well, put that out in public.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, that is a long time ago when that happened, when he was really.
Yeah, but it's it is one of those cool pieces of everything that's you need to always understand. You should be a fan first,
Mm-hmm.
no matter if you're behind the wheel or you're in the grandstands. Being a race fan, I said it at the banquet, and I'll repeat it here. Last year at Langley Speedway made it really easy to be a race fan.
Yes, it did.
There was premium racing here last year. You know, in some of the divisions, how many winners we had in the divisions, it took a while before we had a repeat winner in a couple of the divisions here. But 10 divisions of racing, I think it was total. Am I right on that? I think 10.
I'm not sure.
But
I think you're right.
but it's all that, and you got to think of the families, the husbands, wives, and just everybody who had to make commitments and sacrifices to make that happen over the months we race. And all that happens all the way from carts to cup. And people need to understand that. What you're cheering on is not just Chase Elliott. What you're cheering on is Hendrick Motorsports, all the families that are represented through Hendrick Motorsports, all the way down to everybody, including Chase's mama and daddy. Because if it weren't for them, he wouldn't be here for you to cheer for him.
Exactly right.
And that doesn't matter that, I'm not saying that, Bill's an 88 Cup champ. I'm saying Bill Elliott's Chase's daddy.
Right.
So,
When he's at the racetrack, he's Chase's dad.
Yep.
He doesn't get himself involved in stuff too much as far as racing is concerned with the race team and everything.
and
I think he spots on road courses for him. But other than that, that's
it.
that's about all he does.
And when we're sitting here, like she said, Miley Smith, Billy Smith, Big Billy, 3-time champ out here. He was a champ against Tommy Ellis, Sonny Hutchins, Ray Hendrick, Butch Lindley, Sam Ard. You put all those names up there. Molly's grandpa was a champion against them here at Langley Speedway.
Yeah.
Think about that part of it.
And that's like the fun part of my job is, when you see me out here and I'm in like weird positions and like I'm on my phone and like I'm capturing a story and I get to design that and create with that and share this story with your fans and build a brand and get them invested to where they know where you came from. They know where you want to go. They're cheering you on. And rather they're, watching on Flow Racing or they're buying a ticket to come out here and watch you. That's continuing our sport. That's good all the way around for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like my favorite part to do is just capturing that story.
So now we heard you said Maverick's going to be racing. So tell us a little bit about this now. What Mama wasn't too sure about that to start with.
I'm still not. Santa brought him a battery powered go-kart that the Smiths helped Santa out and delivered a really cool wrap for.
Yes.
And I thought it was going to buy me some time. It did not. We are already to the point that his brother was joking on him about racing it. And he was like, I can't win in this. It's not fast enough. So he asked if he could write Santa a letter to exchange it for a faster one. And then, oh no, that gets better. And then that would take too long. So then he called in Chase Burrow and has Chase Burrow looking for some go-karts for him. And
Have to at least get him involved, get in touch with Terry and get him involved in the big wheel races.
yeah, I got tagged in that multiple times. Multiple. It's very clear that despite my best attempt of not getting him in racing, I know he's raised in it. I get the chance of
It's
it.
much cheaper.
But like baseball, like anything, he's like, oh, no.
But if the kid doesn't have that passion for the baseball, doesn't have, and
I
he's
know.
got it for the racing, that's
But
So-
any of that can really fall together. I mean, you got to think of a nice baseball glove is $300
right.
by the time you're playing, Little League. $300 for a good baseball glove, and then you're sitting there and you got to buy the bats, you got to buy all the. Then
I've been
uniforms.
through this.
Yeah, and
every
all
year
that.
because they
Because I
grow.
mean, look at everything, with them and all that stuff, and
That's still a little less stressful.
it's a little less stressful until you see one of them
That's-
pitched at a forehead.
It's not
Then it becomes a lot
less
more
I played
stressful.
softball, so I know, but
But if a kid's playing baseball, you got to play fall league, you got to play summer league, you got to go here, you got to go there. It's just as stressful in a lot of ways because I've been
Yeah.
through that.
that's-
So I know how, and you're talking about the $300 glove. Well, I bought one that was almost $400 some dollars
Yeah.
that had his name stitched on the side of it.
you gotta have the best.
He was the youngest one. He was the spoiled one.
But
His
it's all
daughter didn't get that.
we all
Oh yeah, she did.
we all want the best for our children.
Mhm.
Right, I
As
agree.
parents, that's what we all aim for. A lot of times we try to look at what their passion is. A lot of times they grow up right in the middle of all this, like we all are experiencing right now. My choice to not drive, I just literally looked around and saw that everybody was spending all this money on tires and cars get tore up and things get happening. I went, Joe Kelly sounds nice on the PA system. Him and Eddie Anderson sound great, and Joe Moore and all these guys I'm surrounded by at these different racetracks. And, if that doesn't work, maybe I can do what Jack Massey does and I'll be up in the flag stand. I'll be good. And then I saw Jack Massey get knocked out the flag stand one night at Southside. I said, the Nelson sounds great.
Oh,
Yeah, instead of spending money, I'll make a little bit of money.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's the passion's there. My son was a baseball player, and all of a sudden he just said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm not doing baseball anymore. I'm going racing." And he went down and got a job in racing, and worked out good for him. Of course, he's not in it now, but I mean, it worked out good for him. And so I didn't know he was even paying attention to things like that when I was racing. I didn't even, I knew I did everything I could do to get him involved in it, but that's about it. So just like you got to do that now.
we joke with Maverick. He looks just like me. He acts just like me.
Oh God.
He is my twin through and through.
Mhm.
Brandon jokes all the time. Like we were just sitting at the dinner table and Maverick said something and then just like melted down. He was like, God, you are your mother. And we just laugh, but he has the same childhood that I did. Like I grew up watching my dad race, and from, Southampton to drag racing to he had his own shop my entire life. So I've been involved in every aspect of this business, and from Southampton to drag racing, I drag raced, and building cars, working on cars, the business side of it. I've done it all.
I did not know that. Well, I'm sure I did know, but it didn't register with me who your dad was at the time. See, I lived in Emporia, and I remember your dad from when I was living in Emporia.
Well, a lot
But I
of people
didn't-
don't know that that's where I'm from. That's
But
where
I didn't pay
was
any
born.
attention to that until, and then when we talked about your mom and where she came from,
Uh-huh.
explains a whole lot about you.
No,
Dang.
it's actually funny because if my mom was watching, she might be watching. She would tell you, like, I blame all of my faults on my mom. That's not true. I don't actually, but you said it, so you can take the blame for it.
Well, you weren't arguing with me.
You didn't try to deny it.
Look, my dad wanted to name me Earlene.
I think that'd been pretty cool.
That's one of the
I'm
Mandrell
with you.
sisters.
I think that would have been really cool.
I think
Well,
that's one of them.
Early.
Thankfully, the nurse at the Emporia Hospital intervened, and we went with Erin.
I would have gone with the early myself. I think,
And so then I guess the trade-off was he got the middle name and named me Taylor after Dale Earnhardt's daughter.
I didn't know that. But the funny thing, Scott, her mom was born or grew up in West Virginia or about the same place I did.
Oh, Lord.
Small world.
That was unbelievable when I found that out. She and I were talking about it. That was because she was the hospital was right there. Would you say?
Jack could have been your daddy.
There's so many things that I could say to respond to that, but my parents could be watching, and I'm not going there.
I'm really that's kind of concerned me too. That won't even funny, really. Anyway. All right, well, that's our show for tonight. I guess
Good
we'll
place to
end
end.
it.
Good place to
End on
end it.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll end it on that. Garrett Zacharias was supposed to be with us tonight. I don't know what happened to him, but I had talked to him earlier today, and I guess he got busy. But anyway,
Preseason.
Work on race cars.
Working on me.
well, I mean, he. and as we speak, here he comes. All right, let's get Garrett on here.
What's up, Garrett? How you
That's
doing,
my
man?
hero, Garrett Zacharias.
Hey, how are you? I didn't know. I thought that I was in the studio and then it said enter. I thought that you could see me from the background, but I guess it just went through.
Yeah, it just did. We just saw you. I was getting ready to say, well, he just stood me up again, but anyway, I knew you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, all good, man. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know that worked like that.
Okay, well, some people need to get some computer skills, and you and I don't have them, so we just need to make sure we get somebody to get them. Okay?
You need a PR girl. So,
Yeah.
Right.
all I'm saying, Mayhem Management. We're taking new clients.
So anyway, hey man, congratulations on going down to. I watched some stuff with that today. I watched some highlights of the test down there.
What was it like, man?
There's no words to describe it. When Chrissy gave me the call a couple weeks before he went down, he's like, "You're going to Daytona," and I was like, "Wait, is this real?" He's like, "Yeah, it's real. You're going." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I was just so surreal the whole weekend. It's been a dream of mine for my whole life since I started racing. Was getting to that level and getting that first step in the door, and it finally worked out, and we got approved, as like you guys have saw, and running laps around Daytona is just amazing. I mean, the top speed we got was 186 at the end of the day in a draft, and it was pretty cool getting a draft as well. Learning with a future friend, Andy Jankowiak, from up here, up in the north side up here. It was really just a neat experience. Overall, great. I mean, I just have no words to describe it, really.
Yeah, I saw you. A couple of the things I saw, you were running behind Jake Finch, and I thought that was pretty cool. The two of you guys out there together. Both of you I knew when you were, little, and then wasn't even thoughts of this type of racing going on. And see both y'all out there together, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was definitely neat. I mean, like we hooked up in that little draft there for a little bit. I was just trying to see what I can do, if I could stay with them. I was surprised I caught them, actually. When I got to them, I was like, all right, I just got to lay back here and just kind of ride and see what I can do. And the car handled great, hooked right up with those guys. And, really, it was a really smooth couple runs there we had. And I think at one point we were 6th out of 36 cars. So I was like, holy crap, there's no way. And, we came in and did another couple mock runs, and it went really well.
Yeah, you did a great job with that, and of course now you're approved for the track. So what's on your schedule now?
As of right now, this year, really nothing this year unless I get a phone call. Right now I'm just trying to get this year's ready for the short track stuff up here. I am approved, like you said, yes. Our plan right now is to possibly go buy a car, the sister car to the car I drove at Daytona, to possibly run at Daytona / Talladega in 2024, but it's all up to our funding. It's really tight right now nowadays with funding up here and just getting sponsorship. I mean, we have a few good guys up here that could help us, that will. It's just going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of PR stuff, like I was talking about earlier. A lot of online social things that you can post and get your name out there. I'm just trying. This year is just kind of we'll just kind of go down there, and if you get approved, it's great. Just work on next year, kind of. It's just kind of up to if I get a phone call or possibly buy a race car here at the end of the year.
Well, I think that would be a good deal if you could work that out to be a part of that. And I tell you one thing, Garrett, I'm gonna say it. It was really cool what you said about your dad and being able to get your dream and get his dream to be there. I think that's really cool what you said. Yeah,
it was great. Like I said, Dad pushed me my whole life. He was hard on me a lot through years. Through the whole weekends, he pushed me as hard as I can. Sometimes he even had me crying. He just wanted me to be the best of the best, to be better than, just work as hard as I can to get to the top level. And I made that post, and I was crying on the way down there because, that was his goal, me to get to this level, even if it's just a test, a practice, 2 laps. We made it. I said in my mind the whole weekend, I was just so grateful for the opportunity and just took it all in, like I said. And, it's what he wanted me to do, and we're working on it right now. And I can't thank everybody behind me enough for everything for pushing me to get there and, helping me get there over the past few years, and just it's rolling.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. Your grandfather and grandmother, they keep it going really big time for you, because I'm going to tell you what, I love it when she does the live things for you at the racetrack. Now, sometimes she gets a little excited, but that comes with the territory. But I mean, it's really cool that she does that, because I look forward to it every time you race.
Yeah, I love them to death. Granny's got her. We call it the Granny's live videos weekly. She does her best. Like you said, sometimes she gets a little out of hand, vocal wise, but we like watching it. It helps us as well. Gain knowledge on it and just learn. And everybody can watch. I mean, weekly we get around 400 to 500 people watch that video. It's just get my name out there as well, with the internet side. And I like watching them at midnight when I'm up, just hanging around, just watching the memories from the year or the year before, and just learning to get back for the next year.
Yeah, I look forward to it when you're racing, like on Friday or Saturday night. I look forward, because she always sends me a link and says, that she's doing it. And I'm gonna tell you what, that's really cool to be able to see you do that. That's really good.
Yeah, she tags. I think she tagged about 30 people for Daytona. So,
yeah,
the amount of people that she tags and the amount of people that came in and just watched is unbelievable. Getting my name out there as well, even if it's just people, like you said, sitting in the grandstands or sitting on Flow Racing, just the exposure. It's all that helps and makes this career come into a dream,
Well, every time she sends me something, I put it on my page, so let everybody see it from there too. But I tell you what, I am so proud that you got to do the thing you got to do this past or weekend before last, whenever it was. I was really proud of that, and I know RJ is really proud of what you've done too. So I really, that's a big deal to have that kind of support.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I'm forever grateful for even that opportunity. It's just amazing. Still, I'm still on cloud 9. I still can't believe it. I just got photos yesterday from the test as well, and I still don't think it was real. I'm just a small town kid here up in New York, just trying to make a living with racing, and I'm kind of following kind of like an Andy J story here, just doing what I can, racing short tracks as much as I can to get my name out there, and just trying to start even our own team, with possibly purchasing this Arca car here for next year, and still going to run up here as much as I can. Weekly wise, Fridays and Saturdays with the series that we run in. I got a couple more things in store this year, a few more opportunities that I might be stepping into. Don't really know yet, but I'll keep you guys updated as much as I can throughout social media. And I can't wait. So another year starting here soon. We start up in May up here, and then like I said, if I get a phone call to travel, I'll be on a plane the next day.
So are you going to be coming down and racing down south, any?
As of right now, like I said, I was doing that late model stuff for a while. We kind of dragged that along. We wanted to save some money for up here and also for the Arca stuff, as I said earlier. As of right now, I don't really know. We're right now actually trying to purchase a second car for our super stock stable up here in New York to travel a little bit more out of state, I should say. So it's just kind of rolling still, kind of trying to figure out our schedule. We got a few more races coming up this year. Opportunities, I'm just trying to, whenever I get the phone call or text message, I'm usually on it.
Well, let me tell you something. Did Leland Honeyman, he was in that test too, right?
In the Arca test?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I thought he was. So that really, three of y'all little shits in there. I mean, you, Leland Honeyman, and Jake Finch. I mean, I remember when you were just coming along, little fella. Leland Honeyman, I didn't like him too much when he was little.
He's a smart ass.
Because he's a smart aleck, and I didn't like him because he thought he was funny trying to joke on me. But that's fine.
But it's
And he
funny when
did.
you do it.
It wasn't funny then. But anyway, I'm proud, man. I tell you what, Scott and I, we've seen you come along. We've seen you guys do the things you've done. I'm excited. I hope things work out really big for you.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. I'm just forever grateful, as I said earlier. It's just another opportunity that I get my foot in the door, and it's just I still don't believe it. Like I said, everything is just a dream come true right now. It's just gonna still do my stuff up here. Be the same old Garrett I usually always have been. And if this all works out, we'll always stay in contact. Always post on social media, and I'm also getting on your hero cards tonight. I'm gonna start working on those tonight. So if anybody needs any design work, hit me up on Facebook. I'm doing Jacks right now, so you'll have those in a few days.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you again real soon, and thank you for being on tonight. And hey, man, we're proud of you. You're doing a great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it again. We'll be on probably in a few months after we get our season rolling here.
All right, man. We'll talk to you again soon, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man. It's hard to believe.
I know these young kids.
These three kids. Leland Honeyman. We did a show from.
I mean, he couldn't.
The Harley Davidson place in Charlotte.
7 or 8.
He was small, and he comes up there and starts cracking on me.
I forgot what he said, but he was like, he said some kind of joke, put it out there, and Jack was like, huh? He's like, you'll get it in a minute. He's like, oh, I get it, you little shit.
And Jake Finch, when my son was working for James Finch, he was a little fella, a little nuisance. Is what he was.
He's a smart ass too.
He was a little nuisance. He's always into everything, and everybody had to keep an eye on him because you didn't know where he was going to end up. And and look where he's at now. Son. Yeah, I wasn't going to go there. So I mean, it's and I'll tell you what, nothing could be any better to see Garrett do what he's done. His dad had a stroke and is in real bad shape, or was. He's beginning to come around, but I think it's really cool that he lived up to his dad's dream, and I think that's
really cool.
that is good for him. So
it's kind of like you did with your son, right? He
went
way further than you did.
Yeah, he went way further than I did, and I have no qualms to say that because I reaped the benefits of him going that way. I ain't worried about all that. So anyway. All right, well, that's our show. I think next week we're going to have Racing. Jason's going to be with us next week.
Okay.
So, and maybe Bill Mullis is supposed to be back with us again next week. So he's got something he wants to talk about. So we'll get him back on. It'll be this week or the next week. I don't know exactly when. So we got some stuff coming up. So be with us again. Please like and share our show. I want to thank Buck for coming. I know Buck came all the way down here just to be here for this, and man, I appreciate you doing it.
Definitely.
You're one of a kind out here at the Langley Speedway.
I second that.
So
Please.
Thank you.
We
I
are
think-
very fortunate.
we are very fortunate to have them. We're very fortunate to have Erin
Yes.
That's
as
not
part of our
Carrie.
little group here. I mean,
Oh, I thought you were going to say you and her were fortunate enough to have me or something. I thought that's where you were going.
well,
No.
you know, I'm not. We may need to go. We may need to go back and look at the numbers.
Oh no, we agreed we weren't going to do that, Jack. 'Cause
Look
you
at the
don't.
numbers of when she was here. When you,
No. Mm-mm.
but I ain't gonna say nothing bad.
That's technically not fair because I was here for the viral Martinsville explosion.
Oh yeah,
And
you
we
were.
just had his microwave beeping in the
I
background.
know, that was-
I know, I had my earbuds in. I didn't even hear it.
We're like,
What the hell is that?
it's done.
It's
It's
the bomb.
cold, but it's done.
Yes. You go
I
get
forgot
your
about
raviolis.
Really?
I'm like, what is that beeping in the background? Ooh.
Sitting here trying to solve problems in peace, and you're just
I was
beep,
waiting for my food.
beep. Yeah, well, it was done.
So anyway, that's our show, and we'll see you again next week. And before we go, Erin, thank you again for all you do for us. I mean, you and I talk back and forth, and I said, "Hey, I need you. Would you do this?" And she would do it. And you know, I really
People
appreciate
didn't believe he could do that kind of stuff.
I didn't care whether they didn't believe me or not.
I mean, that's just, I know you and Jack didn't do that. Who did it?
I think they all know now.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Hey, I make no bones about it. I will tell them who done it. That's not a problem.
Happy to do it.
Anyway, all right. We'll see you again next week.
Adios.